Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Yes, we're live on YouTube. It's the Mystery Project on YouTube, the Haunted Side on TikTok. Welcome in, everybody. Great to see everybody. We got things to talk about tonight. Starting off with old Gypsy Rose.
How dare you?
I know. But apparently that's what you guys and gals want to hear. So Radiant Brit's going to talk about her. Something about her lying. So oh no, really? And then the Susan Smith lady, remember her from the 90s, like 94? That like drove the car or pushed the car into the lake with the kids in it. You remember that?
You what?
Yeah, they're talking about her parole is coming up, but she wasn't doing things correctly in prison. Kimberly, thank you for the boo things. Boo to ghost, thank you. So sweet. So we're gonna talk about that, and then in the middle of that, we got the. Did you guys hear about up in I think it was Michigan, the guys who pretended to be utility workers to go in, and they ended up taking this dude out. It's crazy as hell. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. So come on in, YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 100 likes. Hit the subscribe. TikTok, keep tapping the screen like crazy too. Let's get 25,000 likes. And hit that follow button if you're new here, y'all. I see a bunch of new people coming in. So hit the follow button. All right, let's go. I'm going to shrink myself down on YouTube. Oh, and TikTok. If you want to watch the videos, like actually see what we're watching, come over to The Mystery Project on YouTube. Here, I'll put it right here. It should be on the screen right here. Or click the link in the bio that says YouTube. You'll find it. Okay. I'm shrinking myself down. Here we go, y'all. Ooh, I almost hit in stream. Oops. Simply Samantha, thank you.
Hi guys, we're going to sit and chat for a few minutes today. I have some Gypsy Rose updates for y'all. I'm going to try to make this video kind of concise because...
Oh, hell. Y'all, by the way, Radiant Brit, she's awesome. Make sure you follow her. Go subscribe to her. She's pinned down in the description of the video. Go find her channel. Go subscribe. She's amazing. All right, let's keep going.
I'm limited on time, but I know that y'all are interested in what's been going on. For anyone who wants to keep up with her and this, trash show that she's putting out there.
Oh God, there's season 2. Kelly, thank you.
Gypsy and her influencer era makes me want to gag. She is over here showing people how to put on lip liner. Now, let me say, I'm here for a tutorial. But if I had my choice out of 1 million people, who am I going to ask how to properly apply lip liner? Gypsy Rose is not going to be one of them. She went through all of that just to lick the lip products off, because we know that that's what she does. Lip liner is usually intended to last for longer than 5 minutes, but not when you're Gypsy Rose. She's actually sitting on TikTok saying, lip liner makes your lips look fuller and thicker. Girl, nobody wants beauty advice from you.
Oh, man, she said nobody wants beauty advice from you.
There have been speculations on, did Gypsy get her lips injected? Did she get her upper lip injected because it looks different? I've looked at some side-by-side photos. If she did get her lips injected, it was only her upper lip, and it was such a small amount, it's almost like you can't tell. And that's the way that injections should be.
Oh, hell.
They should be hard to guess, but I've looked at some photos.
I was going to get my lips injected, and then I was like, oh, hell. The Lord done blessed me with these big, beautiful lips. So I decided against it because I didn't want to look stupid as hell.
Photos of her right after her release versus more recently.
Just kidding, y'all. I made all that up for attention. I'm never going to do that stuff.
If she did, it was just a little bit, and honestly, if she did, she is a good injector. But you know, that also goes back to the whole thing of don't sell lip liner when you got your lips injected, because the liner is not making them look fuller. You just happen to find what might be a good injector.
You getting lip filler?
Okay, it's not lip filler. I got a new lip liner by Charlotte Tilbury, and it is amazing. It's Pillow Talk.
Yeah. Just lip liner, guys.
Just lip liner. And I think I also had like pretty nice lips to begin with.
It looks really good.
You think you had what to begin with?
I mean, it worked. Not the trick. I thought everybody was
How dare you?
so short that you got lip filler. So
Yeah, no. Although if
shout
I
out to the lip liner then.
Yeah, like when I went to Ulta, I had like seen like, I can't remember what it was, but I was scrolling through TikTok. Thank you, Jackson Love. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw it, and so I got both. And I'm like, it's perfect. Like, I feel like I have found my match.
You found it. Like I said, I mean, it looks so good.
Perfect. Like, I feel like I have found my match.
You found it.
Man, y'all crazy as hell sending me this stuff.
Like I said, I mean, it looks so good that
It does.
like you have lip filler. So
It's magical.
there you go.
makeup. Then like,
Man, can I get some ear filler? So I can just like, peace and quiet.
it's like I've been.
She then goes on this whole tangent about how leggings, what does she say? Leggings is the way to go.
What?
Leggings are the way to go, Gypsy. How mysterious that she is telling people how she is getting slow and she's tired because
RJ or RJam, yeah, no, trust me, you're not alone in that.
now she's, you know, further in her pregnancy and all this kind of stuff. What I want to say is Gypsy Rose has never had a job. So what are you slowing down from? You've never done anything. You've had everything handed to you, and now you have been made a super popular, you've been made into a super popular whatever you are, and people are following
She said, whatever you are.
it. People are falling for it. They're falling for the shtick. So I don't know what you're tired from or what you're slowing down on doing, because you've never done anything. You've never had a job. You probably won't ever have a job. And don't tell me that what she's doing is a job, because what I've seen is she sits on live stream. She tells people about, you know, junk that they don't need, that they,
Oh, hell. Gina, thank you for the roses.
you know, should buy because she's shilling random crap. And she does a podcast and an interview once in a while. That is not a job.
The things that I packed were like this, like shirts.
You packed shirts? Whoa.
I brought leggings, which my leggings have been very like versatile for different clothes. Like leggings
What?
are just super comfortable right now.
Gina, thank you.
Jeans are starting to get like more uncomfortable, even with the pregnancy maternity jeans. Like they're just uncomfortable. So leggings is the way to go.
This is painful. And people just watch that. Like we're watching something talking about it, but they sit in there and just watch that. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Sony.
Ding, ding.
Sonia. Thank you, Bambi. How's my pregnancy going? Good.
Oh
But
God.
I am starting to like slow down now. So like first and second trimester, I felt good for the most part.
What?
Didn't really feel like much of a change with energy, except for like I was very tired in the first trimester. But
I'm about to try mester myself on out of here.
Now I just feel like slow. Like I walk a little slower, I feel a little slower. But overall, good so far. Thank you, Chef.
I'm pissed tonight, y'all, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm grumpy. Hold on, let me drink some more caffeine. I'm grumpy as hell.
Ellie. Thank you, Bobby. Ooh, that's a cool pumpkin.
She also went on to do a tour of her hotel room in LA, which is
Oh, God.
sickening. You know, there's been some allegations that, I mean, I guess not allegations, more of like conspiracy, that she might have made up to $20,000 for speaking at San Francisco State University.
Oh, hell. Man, you look crazy as hell in that picture. Oh, my God. I thought that was like a witch costume. Man, you look crazy. What are you? No, I can't. I'm not even going to get into that. You look crazy as hell.
This is going to blow your mind and probably infuriate you. And this is in connection to the Gypsy Rose speaking engagement at San Francisco State University. So they say, I recently sent a few letters to journalists, including the one recently posted on the same USF website after she was allowed to speak there.
Oh, yeah, TikTok. You can't see. Come over to YouTube and watch it. Go to like 11 minutes.
I feel we should start writing journalists and news stations. Okay, so it is important to note, she spoke at San Francisco State University. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. So Gypsy did a paid
What, in the criminal justice division on what not to do ever?
speaking engagement gig at San Francisco State University a couple days ago.
Man, these screenshots are crazy.
It was put on by a nonprofit called Project Rebound. And their objective is to reintegrate former offenders.
And more like Project Refund, as in refund my life from having to listen to this.
Back into society with education.
Not this creator, but like just Gypsy Rose in general.
Great noble cause. So for that speaking engagement, it is alleged. Now let me put an emphasis on.
Oh my God. That is crazy. Is that even the same person?
Alleged that she made $20,000 plus airfare, plus hotel, plus food, plus transportation. Again, this is alleged, but this figure seems to be consistent everywhere I look. There are absolutely no words. I have a commenter on another video bring up a really good point. Project Rebound, the nonprofit, put it on. So where would they get this money? I have no idea. I do know that they get grant money. I know that there's donations.
Yeah, it's tax money
that are made. All I know is that is the alleged figure that is going.
Man, what filter do they have on? They got that filter that makes them look old? Because both of them look crazy as hell right there. Look at that. I thought Gypsy Rose was hanging out with damn... that dude looks old as hell. Doesn't it look like Gypsy Rose is just like hanging out with Joe Biden right there?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
It actually does, dude. Stella, thank you. Oh my God. I'm telling y'all, this dude looks, that's the one dude. What's the guy's name? The new guy, or the old new guy, or whatever? Keith? Something like that. Kenneth? I can't remember. I can't bother with these people. Stella, thank you. Sip the tea, thank you. Ken, that's right. That's what I said. I said that.
Alleged figure.
That dude looks crazy as hell. You got some small hands too. Or maybe it's just, I don't know what's happening there. Like, take my strong hand. This picture is making me uncomfortable.
That is going around consistently of what she was paid. A paid speaking engagement wearing this is not advocacy. cause
No, it's just crazy.
playing Nancy Reagan is not advocacy. I wrote down some ideas for Gypsy Rose on
Man,
what
don't do Nancy Reagan like that.
I think, and probably the majority of us think that advocacy is. These are just a few ideas. Do petition drives, letter writing campaigns, speak in front of lawmakers, showcase offender stories on your platform, speak at benefits that are conducive to prison reform. So some people believe Gypsy should have no platform. She should not be on the internet since her crime was literally planned
On the interwebs. Jessa, if you come over to YouTube, you can search the Mystery Project. The Mystery Project on YouTube. That's where you can actually see the videos that we're watching.
on social
The link's in the bio too, y'all. Click my face, go to the bio and click that button that says YouTube. It should take you right to it.
media.
Come
Some
subscribe.
people think it's fine, but utilize that platform for good. Most people would not have a problem if she was just out here advocating for something positive and making a difference. And I know what y'all are going to say. Well, Lauren,
Yeah,
what are you doing
right.
to make a difference? Well, I didn't murder, but I don't know if she can turn this ship around. And I do agree with almost 50 Swifty here. And I think that the university hosting her, it was reckless and it was inappropriate.
If they paid her any amount of money, it's too much. But just the fact that they invited her there to be a public speaker and allow her to continue this lie that she also says in this live stream about how she's advocating for prison reform, she cares about victims. The only thing she is advocating for is her checking account and her pockets.
Now that I actually look halfway decent, I'm gonna show you guys the view from our hotel.
And now Aaron Rodgers, and this thing is not turned around. So I don't understand what suggestion.
So this is
These are boats. Why do these boats have steering wheels? They don't even have wheels.
we have like an amazing view, and the hotel's really, really nice. It's very different from Louisiana. I'm not used to this at all, but I think it would be kind of cool to live here at some point, maybe. It's kind of chilly in the morning. I thought LA would be a lot warmer.
It's October. I thought the Farmer's Atlas was gonna be correct. It should be warmer. I'm pissed tonight, y'all. I'm getting crazy tonight. This is irritating. We haven't talked about Gypsy Rose in like a while. That's driving me nuts. I forgot how crazy this is. It's painful as hell. Radiant Bread, you could have at least sped it up. You know what I mean? Like, give it that like 1.25 little, you know, just shave a few seconds off this nonsense.
Way to go. Oh, thank you, Chris. So, what am I doing in Cali? So, I did Good Day LA here in Cali.
Cali. Cali. It's like a dinosaur. Cali.
Where I was, you know, talking about my book. Because
nobody cares.
my book comes out in December, so I'm just.
Oh my God, so cool.
Doing a couple little things for that.
What the hell is your book about?
I was in San Francisco, so in California in general. I'm here in California, or was here in California. We're leaving today, but I was here for the San Francisco State University. I was doing a talk there on like prison reform, prison education, you know, how my prison experience was for me. Thank you, Summer Girl. That is adorable. And just general topics about advocating for prison reform. You know, a lot needs to change in the justice system. So I had quite a few thoughts on that. So they were so wonderful to have me. I felt
Blah
very
blah
welcome.
blah 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 blah
They were
blah.
all great. Like the students were amazing.
You know what sucks? Even if you're being genuine, even if it's real, even if she's like, I'm changed, I want prison reform. Yay! Nobody cares. You've become not that person anymore. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares. And the people who care don't really care.
We had a pretty good talk, and I think overall it went really well.
Do you? Oh my God, it go really well. It went really well.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Libby. Libby Bo? Cute.
I think most of us can see that, but shame on whoever paid for that hotel room for her, and shame on everyone involved in this production that we see playing out. If she was advocating, number one, she would know a lot more about the Menendez brothers than she claims that she does. Someone at TMZ asked her in the airport about it, and Ken got really pissed off that, you know, she was being asked.
Oh no.
And she said, oh, well, I don't know enough about it. What do you know anything about aside from how to wreck your marriage? Like,
Oh, she said, what do you know anything about except wrecking your marriage? Uh-oh.
what do you know aside from manipulating a disabled man to kill your mother?
Oh, damn. I want to know.
Because to me, it seems like you want to jump up and down and say how you're an advocate, but you
Thank you. Y'all hit me with these, what is it called? Boo the Ghost. We're trying to get 50 of them, y'all. Come on.
have not shared one
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
person's story. You have not advocated for a single victim of any crime, and you've been out for almost a year.
Okay, how's your pregnancy going?
Good.
You're glowing. It looks good. It looks really good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, feeling good?
I'm feeling really good, yeah.
All right. You guys getting renewed for another season of Lifetime? Can you say?
I don't think we're at liberty to say yet.
Oh, God.
Okay. You know something? I can read between the
Kelly, thank you.
lines on that. Yet, one of the biggest stories in the world right now, the Menendez brothers. Have you been following that at all, or?
Not a whole lot. I'm not very educated in their case or anything.
So they went to prison for murdering their parents, and
She's sitting there like, oh.
nobody denies that they did it, but it's
Look, she getting mad as hell right there. Ken's trying to get checked in. He's getting pissed too. He's like, I'm trying to upgrade these damn seats to first class. They got us flying in row 27. Do they have any idea who I am? I'm trying. Give me the credit card. Jip, give me the credit card. We getting seats 1A and 1B. This is bullshit. What? Menendez brothers? Man, y'all crazy as hell. Give me the credit card.
coming out, and it's pretty credible. A lot of people feel that they were abused by their parents. So now the DA is reviewing their case, and they're possibly going to get released. And I kind of wanted your opinion on that.
Okay, well,
They better not come after my followers.
I really can't speak on the specifics of that case. I'm not really educated in that case. But
Mama 3, thank you. Y'all hit me with them
I will
things.
say that I'm an advocate for abuse victims in general, and I'm all about prison reform.
So if that happened, though, if their parents did abuse them, I mean, do you support their release, you
I
think?
don't think either of us are educated enough on this subject to really give a great.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with Ken. You know, I think that if their case is being reviewed, then, you know, hopefully something can be done. You know, I think that, you know, abuse victims need.
Dear God, that is that's not even word salad. That is an entire word salad bar. I'm about to go pay my $9.99 so I can have several trips around the salad bar with how much word salad just came out of your word hole.
To be advocated for more.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian actually supported that, and she defended that, and you know she's supporting.
Oh God! Whoa! Kim Kardashian! Whoa! Cool.
Release, but she's gotten some serious pushback. You know, you don't think that that's fair at all, and
I mean, Kim is
hard to say.
Kim is a wise woman.
She is.
She makes good decisions. I
She
think
is.
in her prison reform era,
Okay.
I think she's doing good in that era.
What advice would you have for them?
Kim Kardashian makes good decisions.
You what?
Yep. Totally. Totes my goats. Great decisions. I mean, wonderful decisions.
How dare you?
I don't know these people. Maybe she did.
But they spent 30 years in prison. What advice would you have for them when they get out? You know, you dealt with it obviously.
It's very difficult to come out to a world that has changed so much, even in the time that I spent. So, I mean, reacclimating is a difficult thing. So I would say take your time and, you know, adjust properly and get therapy because you'll need it in
Get
this
therapy.
day and age.
Yeah, just
Did you see Ken's face? Man, that dude was looking crazy as hell back there in the corner. Hang on, y'all. I'm gonna rewind it about a second. Look at Ken's face. Look at his face. Holy hell, dude was standing there looking like the Terminator. He's like, I know she called you because it's TMZ, and that's why you know we're right here. But y'all need to back the hell on up. That is crazy.
yeah, just
Speaking of Ken, it's very interesting seeing him interacting with her in this live stream. Of course, I'll put in some clips, but he is
No, please
fed
don't.
up with
Please don't. No more live stream clips. Radiant, Brett. No. No. No.
Gypsy. You can tell it in his body language, his responses, the things that he says, the things that, like the tone that he uses. He, to me, seems like he's very frustrated with her mere existence.
He's frustrated with her mere existence. He's got Casey and JoJo on. I'm going crazy, crazy, crazy just thinking about you, Gypsy. But not in the good way, because that song was a good song, wasn't it? Oh my life.
He does not speak to her like
Y'all know what I'm talking about. That song, the Joe song, I want to know what turns you on. I want to know. That song's been all over TikTok. And then you go in and you click it, and then you start getting all these other songs like it. And they hit me with Casey and JoJo. They hit me with some Boys to Men. They hit me with some Keith Sweat today. Yeah, I was getting it. I was getting down. I was in my car. When I get you again.
like
Okay, I'm done. I'm done for now, y'all. I just needed like a pick me up. All right, let's go. Don, thank you for the boo. Y'all, hit me with the boo to go. So let's get it. We're almost there. We were trying to get 50 of them. Let's go. Oh, yeah, TikTok. Keep tapping the screen like crazy. Hit the follow button. Come over to YouTube, The Mystery Project on YouTube. Click the link that's in the bio. You can find the YouTube channel. Come and subscribe. And let's do this. Mama, thank you.
the girlfriend, the supposed mother of your incoming child. His demeanor is very much like an annoyed big brother at his little sister kind of dynamic.
See, I'm the kind of person who wants to get here 1 hour before takeoff, but you're the kind of person who wants to get here 3 hours. And this is exactly what happened. We ended up sitting at a fucking terminal for 2 hours.
But you could always go shopping at the little gift shop.
Who wants to go shopping at an airport? Who wants to spend 3 times the price on a?
Gypsy freaking Rose.
I like to.
Oh yeah, where's your goods?
I didn't buy any.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I was hoping to find a chocolate frog somewhere in the terminal.
Oh God.
A chocolate frog.
I was
So specific.
I know, but
We were at Universal yesterday.
I know.
We were at Harry Potter World yesterday. You could have bought all the chocolate frogs you wanted, but did you even buy one?
No,
That's right.
we had other things. We bought the wands. But usually, like some
Man, this dude is pissed. He's sitting there like, man, if you weren't paying my cell phone bill, I'd be the hell out of here.
somewhere in this terminal, they probably have
He's like, I got used to this AT&T. I'm tired of Boost Mobile.
a Harry Potter gift shop.
No,
Oh,
that's not
God.
something that exists at an airport.
It does in Orlando.
Anyway,
Anyway, so we're
Oh,
just
God.
trying to pass an hour by, and so we're just chilling.
She does. She's like a
And
dinosaur,
there's
y'all.
not- We don't know what to do. So, I'm gonna hop on my-
Shut up.
let's go hunt down this chocolate frog because now I'm kind
Oh,
of interested.
God.
Let me look it up.
I got like
Yeah, look at
zero
if they have any,
patience
like,
tonight,
Harry
y'all.
Potter Theme stores.
I'm willing to bet with every fiber of my being.
That is
The
so
answer is
correct.
no. And I was right.
They don't.
No.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Southwest
That's
Airlines
weird.
47
I mean,
University.
it
This is
kind
the
of is.
Harry
If you're flying Southwest,
Potter shop at the
Yeah.
airport.
I thought A&E or whatever the hell paid you.
But what's interesting?
Random
number
thing.
11.
What's interesting is that those gift shops, they have like all Disney stuff. So why don't they have Harry Potter stuff?
Assisting you for this flight. We're looking to an on-time departure of 3 o'clock for our
Thank
Denver
you,
flight,
Nina.
8:10 for our
Thank
New Orleans
you.
flight. We board half an hour prior to the
Bethany.
departure. 2:30 for Denver, 2:40 for
Thank you, LB. That's cute.
You know, Gypsy is one of those women who thinks that playing dumb is cute and saying dumb stuff is like comedic gold and it gets guys to like you. I cannot stand the I'm dumb persona that people put on. Acting like you don't know something or you think something outrageous is actually the way that it happens. Like, acting as if you're dumb is not cute. It never was cute. It doesn't make people more interested in you. And this dumb little hee hee ha ha thing that she does, I can tell that Ken is about done with it. And he's probably like, well, damn, I'm really stuck now because, you know, old girl here is paying my bills. Supposedly he has moved in with Christy Rod and Gypsy.
Oh, hell.
Doesn't even have his own house anymore, allegedly. One thing that Ken said that actually did piss me off was that he went on this whole, oh, the haters think the pregnancy is fake thing. They think we hired an actor. Ken,
Hired a what? Oh, God. Thank you for the cats. Y'all hit me with the little cats. I switched it. Hit me with some Halloween kitties.
I have not heard one person say that y'all hired an actor.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
I haven't heard that from
Maybe you should, because then somebody would give like a good performance.
anybody.
We might believe some of this.
I have heard that why is your bump here one day and gone the next. I covered the silicone fake belly thing. I've heard questions about why is it here. It's not, oh, why aren't you showing? It's why do you look super pregnant here and then a month later, nothing. That's what people are confused by. Nobody said that you hired an actor and nobody's talking about AI.
I'm gonna start taking that as a compliment because does anybody really want to be like, oh, you look pregnant?
So do people think that like we like
Usually people who are pregnant like to look pregnant. So then they know that the kid's healthy.
paid an actor to like do a fake
Oh, thank
sonogram and like put up
you.
fake pictures on the screen during. You know,
Oh no, they think
What?
that's all fake. They think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all
We just
fake.
hired a bunch of actors to do all that for us.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like it's like always the same questions every single time. When do you do? What's the
Oh,
gender?
thank you,
It's like,
Jackie.
are you new?
Look, duh, those are people just joining the live, silly.
I know, but like, I mean, it's been such common information for like 4 months now.
Stop being rude.
I'm not being rude.
Mr.
Man.
Yo, what's up?
I think he just said.
That's so crazy. This is the guy that cuts my hair, dude.
Oh my god! Hi, nice to see you. Hi.
Oh, damn. That dude came in for a hug and she was sitting down. He's like,
That's so random, bro.
look, he sounds excited as hell to see the dude that cuts his hair and anything to do with her. He's like, man, what the hell? You talk about chocolate frogs? This is crazy as hell. And then he just sees the guy who cuts his hair and he's like, oh, what's up, dude? He got up and left her and everything.
Saw a friend.
Dude, that's
Man, you crazy as hell.
wild.
Do you think they were the same fun? Like, I think he's even going to LA.
Doesn't even sound like the same dude. Stella, thank you.
It probably is him.
Yeah, I'm on live right now. So I'm like,
No, and the TikTok won't let me show it, but if you come over to YouTube, you can see it. The Mystery Project. We're live on YouTube, The Mystery Project. We're live on X, The Haunted Side. We're live on Rumble, The Mystery Project, and we're live on TikTok, the Haunted Side. That's the words I'm saying. All right, let's go. This is ridiculous.
This is my wife Jess right here.
hi.
Somewhere. There she is.
Hi.
Oh.
That's so crazy.
That's random.
Yeah, that's the guy that. Yeah, he cuts my hair in New Orleans.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's so random. That's kind of. What are you doing?
What are you saying?
What in the hell was that?
Her streams have always been very uninteresting to me. Of course, I cover them from the stance of a commentary channel. But all that her streams are her saying thank you for people giving her gifts and propping Ken up there as if he's, you know, the catch of the day. Ken also did leak the baby's name on this live stream that they did from the airport. It had been long speculated that the baby's name was Aurora. You know, that had been going around, and I don't really care what the baby's name is. But Ken leaked it, so I'm sure that he got screamed at by Gypsy after that live stream.
Oh, not. Don't put it like down where my crotch is. Okay, so look at that.
There she is. There she is.
Should I just get dance or something?
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, damn. You crazy as hell.
So you guys come in for your
Yeah, sure, not a problem. Yeah.
Are you from LA or
No, I'm just visiting.
That's awesome. Are you going to Denver or?
We're going to New Orleans, back home.
Wait, you're from New Orleans?
Yeah, well, we live there. Well, she lives in the bayou, but yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you're.
She lives in the bayou. They can't just call her a swamp creature.
You what?
She lives in the bayou, not on the bayou, not around the bayou, not towards the bayou. She lives in the bayou.
Oh my gosh, you're so little.
I know about Parole.
Do you want me to take it?
That'll be awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you.
411. Oh, hell. Y'all, what?
There you go. You're welcome. Yeah, you too. You too.
Y'all too. Nice to meet y'all.
411? How much taller am I than Gypsy Rose? That's like 14 inches.
You what?
Oh my God.
Lastly, let's talk about Gypsy going on the Vial Files again. The Vial Files, I don't usually listen to. I've listened to one episode in its entirety, and that was the Taylor Frankie Paul episode from, I think that was about a month ago. It's not a podcast that I listen to. But the first time that Nick Vial had her on, she was with Ryan Anderson. And it was so soon after her release, you know, she said some stuff in there that was definitely troublesome. Like, oh, I didn't commit the act and that whole thing. I kind of expected her to be on a podcast right after she was released. But for all of these events to have happened, and for Nick Viall to say, you know what, we're going to bring Gypsy Rose on again. Because why?
Ladies, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with being 4'11" or 4'9". There's nothing wrong with that. I was just thinking that Gypsy Rose looks like she's like 5'8". You know what I mean? I expected her to be tall. And then I realized that if she is in fact 4'11", that makes me like 14 inches taller than her, which is crazy as hell.
Money.
But shout out, it's all right. If y'all are sub 5, all good in the hood.
It's not because we're, you know, really interested in what she has to
Lexi said, we fun size.
say, or we think that she has the respect of the public and would be an interesting conversation. It is strictly for clicks.
Besides the fact that she looks more pregnant before she was pregnant, yes, I see it. It looks soft.
And they hit her with the slow-mo action. Slow-mo to
It looks
go-mo.
almost like cut in half, folded. There's like a softness to them, almost like, you know what it reminds me of? You know those cutlet things that go in your bra? It reminds me of like if that material was
What? Hands?
You what?
what an alleged prosthetic was made out of. That's exactly what it would do. Baby bumps are really hard. They're hard. Or mine was, especially that high up.
Mm.
Even if you had some weight on you before, you don't have that like soft, can I say FAT on? It's hard. I feel like a crazy person. It's late, girl, but is that what you were talking about? And does that make sense?
I'm going to leave this up to y'all. If you're interested, I will listen to that episode and do a recap and provide commentary on it. If you guys are like,
Oh no, Stella, thank you. Y'all hit me with some kitty cats.
who cares, whatever, then I won't. But leave it in the comments down
Britt, do it.
below.
I dare you. Let's do it together. Britt, let's do it together. Let's do a live stream, Britt. Y'all, go comment on her video and say, do it with Patrick from the Mystery Project slash Haunted Side. Patrick from the Haunted Side slash the Mystery Project. The video is pinned in the description, or her video is pinned in the description of this video. Go to her video and comment and say that. Make it happen.
If you're interested in a recap and an extended conversation once I, you know, can get through it. But shame on Nick Viall, man. Like, people will always show you just what they're willing to do for money, you know, and to have her on the second time,
Jason, thanks, bro. Good to see you.
tells me that he is purely driven by clout, even if he wants to have a murder on, not once, but twice. But anyway, I'm going to finish this up here, go and have some lunch and finish out my afternoon. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Oh, hell. Radiant Brit killing it yet again. Ooh, ooh. All right, y'all. I don't know what the hell that was. Apologize. All right, let's move on. Thank God. That was painful as hell. I felt like I watched like half of her live stream, which is just too freaking much. These guys, this is who we're going to talk about next. Y'all, people pretending to be the gas company, and then the dude. What? Let's go.
Or DTE.
This is crazy.
Checker for gas
Wiley,
leaks.
thank you.
The man in that video seems legit, but the sheriff in Oakland County, Michigan says he was a phony and the
He was phony baloney.
homeowner.
We don't think the owner or the victims knew.
Oh, and the owner, he owned a pawn shop. And they're thinking that he was targeted because they thought that he would have like money or cash or, well, money and cash are the same thing, but like money or valuables like in the house. Isn't that crazy as hell? Sip the tea. Thank you.
These two, but we think
Thanks for the kitties. Meow.
they knew who they were.
The sheriff is here with details about this terrifying case. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. This case is really terrifying, and it really hits home because what happened to Hussein Murray and his wife could happen to any one of us. We've all had someone we don't know knock on our door. Murray was known to
Yeah, you're supposed to do what we all do. Tell them to get lost.
family and
You don't open the door. You just scream at them.
friends as Sam. And this happened in an upscale neighborhood in Rochester Hills outside of Detroit last Friday. Hussein Murray was murdered in his home. His wife was there and was also hurt. The sheriff says two men posing as utility workers
Hey, you crazy as hell.
committed the crime. This is Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
They showed up at the house on Thursday night and were denied admittance, and they came back to the same house Friday during the day, and that's when the crime happened. And
So I just display my my 2A sign on the door. Knock at your own peril.
none of the neighbors on either side or across the street were ever knocked on.
Here's the clip from the Murray's Ring doorbell camera from Thursday night when the fake workers tried to get in.
Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks.
It looks like it's midnight. Like, what the hell are you talking? Well, hey, I know it's midnight, but we're checking for gas leaks. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this leaky ass gas, it could happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, could happen at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. That didn't quite compute. Never mind.
Thankfully, the Murrays did not let those phony workers into their home. It was after 9 p.m., but sadly,
Yeah, after 9 p.m., y'all crazy as hell.
as you heard Sheriff Bouchard say, the thieves came back to the house in the upscale neighborhood the next morning. It was Friday.
They went back?
Sadly, Hussein Murray was killed. And it's my understanding his wife, she was hospitalized. She was injured, but is she out of the hospital now?
Yes, she's been released. The physical injuries were minor, relatively minor, but the traumatic circumstances that she endured, being duct taped and gagged in her own house and her husband violently, those are things that
Oh, hell.
just she'll never be able to process, I don't think.
Was Mr. Murray trying to defend his home and his wife? I mean, is this how this, he has every right to do so, obviously.
Yeah, 100% he would, but we think that, this ruse at least bought some credibility when they came back the second time during the day. And he was taking them to the basement to check out this alleged gas leak where, the gas came into the house, and he never came up from the basement. He was there.
The sheriff put out the video and this still from the Ring video that showed a man ringing the doorbell on Thursday night that led to him being identified. He's 37-year-old Carlos Jose Hernandez, and he was taken into custody in Louisiana and charged with and other crimes.
Oh, hell.
Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald said in a statement, "This was a gruesome attack on an elderly couple in their home. I have authorized the highest charge, which carries a mandatory life without parole sentence for this brutal crime. My office will work diligently to ensure that this individual is held accountable and that the public is safe from violent predators." U.S. Marshals actually helped track down Hernandez.
Damn, from Michigan to Louisiana?
Yeah, so we've got a great team. Our detectives, the deputies that responded to the call, our crime lab, our DNA folks, our computer crimes, our fugitive apprehension. I mean, this was a whole of agency effort. And then, of course, our partners. We partner very closely with the U.S. Marshals Office and their fugitive team. Our fugitive teams work very closely with them, with Detroit fugitive team, with the state police, with, you name it. And so all of that, came together. Our detectives were able, by a variety of tips, we got some video and images out as quickly as we could, which, as an aside,
Jennifer, thank you.
Ring doorbell company was no help. But once we were able to get some of these images out, we started getting tips. Then we prioritized the tips based on the credibility or the sound or the connectivity of those tips. And we start to work, different targets, if you will, work up different places to go, people to look for, venues, things like that. So in the first individual, we had some information and they began to look for that particular person that we had a belief may have been involved in this based on some of the tip and some of the likenesses. And they were able to determine a car that he may have had access to. And then we began to share that with our U.S. Marshal friends and our colleagues across the country. We had some idea, obviously, of some of this person's past, where they've been, where they might go. We just started running some of those leads down. So a lot of legwork and police work went into it. And ultimately, Louisiana,
they got him. Stella, thank you, Sen. Thank you.
Sheriff's Office was able to spot them in transit on the road and took suspect number 1 into custody.
Boom.
Sheriff Bouchard believes the Murrays were targeted not because the phony utility workers actually knew them, but because of what Sam did for a living. He owned the Gold and Glitter jewelry store.
The one thing, I guess, if there's a little
gold and glitter
bit of kind of calming, is we don't think it was random. We don't think they were just like knocking on a door, no one answers, go to the next one. We think it was more targeted at this point. That's obviously part of the investigation. But we've seen this where it's been targeted against small business owners, that there's a belief they may have cash or jewelry or other things in their home as part of that business. And this particular victim had a family business, which was a jewelry and a pawn shop.
So there's a sad lesson to be learned from this. The sheriff and the prosecutor want people to be careful about letting people into their homes.
It is a good reminder to everybody, regardless of whether they own a small business or whatever the circumstance. If somebody is on your front doorstep and want to gain entry, do not open your door. Don't just don't let them in. Don't open your door until you know 100% for sure that they're there on a legitimate business call and who that business is, and you want to let them in your home. So my suggestion is, whatever the business they say they're representing, you independently look that phone number up, Google it, whatever the case may be, call it and ask that company, do you have an employee at my house now? And if they don't,
that's a good idea.
That's when you call 911. If they do, then it's up to you to make an informed decision. But if you open the...
Even if that company says, oh yeah, we do, well, tell them to go home. What the hell are you doing?
Door, just to talk to them, we've seen them burst their way into the house. And we've seen different ruses. This one was a utility worker ruse.
Sam Murray's grandson posted on Instagram about the Sundays that they spent together as a family and what a good cook his granddad was. Part of the post reads, It is hard to put into words the level of generosity and kindness that my grandfather possessed. A man who spread so much warmth and joy to everyone in his family, and someone whose smile could make you feel like the world was yours. Almost every Sunday, our family tradition is to go to our grandparents' house and eat dinner. When you'd pull up to the house, you could see my grandfather working on his yard. The people who took him away from this world don't know they took someone who was selfless and compassionate, a man who's respected throughout his community, both in America and Lebanon, someone who I've loved and will miss for the rest of my life. It's been a really confusing and painful few hours for me, and I can't believe he's gone. David Sarney is here with me. He's a retired NYPD detective. Dave, this really terrifies me, this case, because this can be any one of us. Your reaction when you read about it and you saw the videos, obviously, the Murrays trusted these people and let them into their home.
Yeah, that seems to be an issue when we deal with these type of burglaries and they turn into home invasions. The perpetrators prey upon the fact that people are very trusting. You really have to start looking back and not realizing you can't trust everybody, and you have to really be on guard at any given time, even behind your doors, because you don't know who is out there who's looking to do hurt, looking to damage, looking to steal from you. And in this case, I mean, they murdered the poor guy who did nothing wrong.
What really bothers me about it is the fact that they were there the night before. They would not let them in, which is very smart. It was after 9 at night. They come back the next day, and the sheriff says he thinks they were targeted because Sam Murray owned a jewelry store. So they knew this is somebody with some means. And that's what's so disturbing to me. They could have just left. They could have just moved on down the road, but they came back. What does that tell you?
It tells you they were motivated. There was a motivated operation that they were looking to get as much as they could. They had a target in mind, and I guess in their mind, the perpetrator,
man, that is crazy.
His minds that this is the best way and opportunity because they didn't want to give up. And we see that a lot of times, even with break-ins and like these individuals, when they find that target, they're going to do what they can no matter what. I mean, that's why they went in, because their expectation was, we're going to get what we need to get out of this house.
The cameras were key in this case. They would not have found these people as quickly as they did had the Murrays not had that Ring camera. And that Ring camera was a crystal clear picture of this perp, even though part of his face was covered, and they were able to track him down somehow. Somebody had to have called in and said, hey, I know who that is.
Yeah, any type of evidence that police can gather, especially video surveillance, is another tool to gather information to find the people who did this. And that was a benefit. And, you know, we see this becoming more and more of a positive thing in law enforcement's perspective is these Ring cameras are another tool. And the difficulty is they can't avoid the observation. I mean, the Ring camera is there. They saw it. They didn't even attempt to block it. So that in the sense that they're looking to say that we're professionals and we are electrical workers or whatever, whatever they're going to pretend. In New York, we have guys who pretend to be other utility employees too. So it's, you know,
that is crazy.
Was helpful, and I believe that more people who have surveillance around their house, it enables them. One, it's sometimes a deterrent, and it's also sometimes that tool that law enforcement can use to find these people, to apprehend them.
We were talking before we started talking, and you said you think this is going to be happening more and more with people using these ruses.
Oh, hell.
To try to, you know, invade people's homes.
Yeah, we've seen organized gangs and organized crews doing this on a regular basis. They ebb and flow, but in this case, we've seen people posing as Amazon workers to gain access. So a lot of these things, you're going to see this happening more, given also the fact that people are getting packages to their homes more often. You're going to see these individuals utilizing that opportunity. Again, the trustworthiness. You know,
Stella, thank you. Y'all, let's get it. Come on, we're almost there.
An Amazon worker, a utility employee. It's like they have an expectation. And you really, unfortunately, in this society now, you can't trust what you think anymore. You have to really be on the side of caution at all times.
Makes you not want to answer your door. I know I always do a double take and try to be very careful when somebody's knocking on my door, because people will come up to your door trying to sell anything, or maybe they say they've got a deal for you, or they're my favorite these days is I have a better deal for you on your utility rates with this company than you're getting now. And I just, it's a little scary, the number of people who will approach your door these days.
Yes, definitely. There's no fear anymore of law enforcement. There's no fear of criminal prosecution for a lot of these people. So they're going to
thank you.
Dare, in a sense, to do that. You know, there may be some people who are actually legitimate workers and legitimate employees doing either canvases for politicians and the like. But the reality is you still have to err on the side of caution. You know, when people ring the bell, I don't answer the door either. I look to see who it is, and you don't open the door immediately. And that's one thing you have to do, is take a step back before you answer. Ask who they are. I know within New York City, you can actually, you know, this was a gas leak they were checking. You can actually check online if there's a gas leak in your area that has been reported. So this is another way of protecting yourself. But, you know, if you don't feel comfortable letting them in, don't let them in. That's the reality is, you know, don't let these people in.
They were able to track these guys down fairly quickly. They found Hernandez in Louisiana on Sunday, I believe. This crime occurred on Friday. So that's actually fairly fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why when you talk about law enforcement working as fast as possible, you know, we can't always stop crime, but we're going to sure as hell find the people who did it. And I think
Damn. Delinda, thank you. Roxbox in the house. Good to see you.
Sheriff and all did a fantastic job in moving as quick as they did in getting the person, one of the people who did this.
Yeah, working with the Marshal Service and all of those people. Dave Sarney, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Y'all, that is crazy as hell. Can you imagine that? Just, oh, here's the gas leaks. And then they come back the next day. Man. Be crazy as hell. All right. Let's see what's next. Oh, Susan Smith. That's right. Y'all remember Susan Smith? Bam. She's the lady back in the 90s. She like strapped her kids in the car seat and then pushed the car into the lake. Remember that? Yeah, she might be paroled. Well, she's has a parole hearing. But apparently, she's been a naughty, naughty girl in prison. And I mean, like, in a bunch of different ways.
Why is it spicy?
And all kinds of things. You guys hear about this? Let's jump into it. Stella, thank you for the little hippo dudes. Apparently, that's what TikTok wants now. Let's crush these goals, y'all. Keep me in.
Killer mom Susan Smith, whose case rocked the country back in the 90s, is coming up for parole. But it turns out she was just convicted on an internal disciplinary charge weeks before her hearing.
Oh, hell, you crazy as hell for that.
How's that going to affect her chance of parole and release? And what has her life been like behind bars? We're going to discuss it with
Belinda Sip the Tea, thank you.
Prison consultant Justin Paperny. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Susan Smith shocked the world back in 1994 when she intentionally left her 3-year-old son Michael and 14-month-old son Alexander strapped in their car seats and let the car just roll into a South Carolina lake. It is a horrible, horrible story. And when it first happened, Smith claimed that a black man was responsible, that he stole her car with the kids inside. She even went on TV.
Are you crazy as hell for saying something like that?
And begged for their safe return.
I would like to say to whoever has my children that they please bring them home to us where they belong.
Detectives, they searched lakes, they searched ponds, and eventually they found the car with the boys' bodies inside.
Oh, hell, you are crazy. Susan, no. 1994 was 30 years ago. 94 to 04, 04 to 2014, 2014 to 2024. 30 years ago. That is crazy as hell. I know. Susan, I know. It's horrifying. I'm not going to say it. Y'all. I'm not going to say it. Okay, I'm going to say it. In 6 years, 1980 will be 50 years ago.
How dare you?
This is craziness. Let's keep going.
And this was located at the John D. Long Lake in Union County. At that point, Smith reportedly told investigators
you stop mathing right now. I know.
That she didn't mean to kill her sons. She just wasn't in her right mind. And during her trial, the prosecution dropped quite a bombshell. That Smith had been having an affair and believed that getting rid of her children would open up a way for her to pursue a relationship with this person. And after just 2 hours of deliberations,
you are crazy as hell.
The jury convicted Susan Smith on the murder charges. The death penalty was on the table, but the jury opted for life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. So now you fast forward 30 years, what's happening? That first parole hearing is approaching. It's scheduled for November 4th. Now, you would think that somebody in Susan Smith's position would be on their best behavior, right? Perhaps the opportunity to be released right around the corner, you would make sure you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that, right? Well, this isn't good for Susan Smith. You see, prison records show that Smith was recently convicted of a disciplinary charge. According to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, Smith was apparently convicted of communicating with a victim or witness of a crime. She lost her canteen, her tablet, her phone privileges for 90 days. Officials say that Smith had been speaking.
Tablet as in iPad? You crazy as hell. This lady's sitting there playing Candy Crush in her jail cell.
With a filmmaker over the phone, somebody who was creating a documentary, and giving them contact information for her friends and family of her victims, as well as her former husband, the father of the 2 boys that she killed. So the filmmaker reportedly deposited money in Smith's prison account in exchange for this information. According to the Department of Corrections policy, inmates can't do interviews on the phone or in person. They can only write letters. And records show the offense was committed in August. She was convicted on October 3rd, and her privileges were suspended starting October 4th.
Man, you crazy as hell for that.
Clear, officials say she is still eligible for parole on November 4th, but again, you got to imagine, likely doesn't help her case. Let's talk about it. I want to bring in prison consultant Justin Paperny to talk more about this. Justin, always good to see you. What do you make of this? I mean, this is another long line of developments in the Susan Smith case.
Well, it took 2 hours to convict her. I suspect it will take less than 2 hours for the parole board to deny her release. She knows she's not getting released. Typically, people who want to earn their way home from prison actually make decisions that demonstrate why they're a candidate for an earlier release. They avoid disciplinary infractions. She knew what she was doing.
Oh, wait till you hear about some of these other disciplinary infractions. Something got infracted, and it was her disciplinarianness.
Was wrong.
I don't know what it means, but y'all will find out in a second.
She wants attention. She wants to live in the limelight for a little while longer as best she can. But if she truly thought she were a candidate.
Oh my God, you know what I just realized? We got a Gypsy Rose who wore it better, y'all. What the hell? We live in a simulation. Look at what she is wearing right there. And look at what Gypsy Rose wore to that damn thing that we watched earlier today. Go back and rewatch the Gypsy Rose thing. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm about to do it right now, too. Boom. What's that? You all see that right there? Y'all see that outfit? Now watch. I'm going to find it. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Come on. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like... Oh, right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Stop it. Yeah, you think you can get something by me? You think you're going to get something by me? Hell no. I see it all. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, y'all, come over to YouTube, TikTok. You can't see it because TikTok won't let me, but come on over. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Go to about 1 hour and 5 minutes, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
For an earlier release, they avoid disciplinary infractions. She knew what she was doing was wrong. She wants attention. She wants to live in the limelight for a little while longer as best she can. But if she truly thought she were a candidate, she'd be making fundamentally different decisions, which is why it's a formality. They're going to deny her.
Do inmates typically try to do this? They appear in television shows, they appear in documentaries. Is this something that you've seen before?
Certainly. I did an interview from federal prison, but it was approved by the warden. A university came to speak with me. It's a whole process in order to get in to film in a federal, state, or any prison. So when you go around the barriers or protocols, you're setting yourself up for failure. Prisons care about security.
Right?
The institution.
Prisons care about security.
How dare you?
What kind of statement is that?
She did something to threaten the institution. So it speaks to what...
Are you aware that prisons care about security? It sounds like a board meeting of like the most obvious shit ever.
You can expect victims and others to say at the parole board, if she can't follow the rules in a secured environment.
We've come gathered here today to discuss prisons, care about security, and groceries are too damn expensive right now. All in favor?
How the hell is she going to behave in a free society with supervision by a probation officer? Of course she knew what to do. She just chose not to do it. And it's proven over the last 3 decades on the inside, she has failed to fully accept responsibility for what she's done. She continues to make bad decisions.
Why, other than a security point of view, I also imagine it's a public policy argument. You have to restrict how inmates speak to the media or what media interviews they can do. I guess the idea is you don't want people profiting off of their crimes. They commit a crime, they go to prison, then they get book deals, then they get interviews. I mean, there is that concept of it as well, right?
You think? Great Dane Mom can't concentrate on the actual case with the nonstop commentary. Well, I would if I were you. This is just a suggestion, but I would not watch commentary content. Have a wonderful life. Goodbye.
Certainly, there's conspiracy theories that people can.
That is crazy as hell. That's more ridiculous than prisons care about security. Y'all are crazy as hell for that.
Create if they do interviews that
Well,
create
not y'all, but you know what I'm saying, the trolls.
lies and more drama for the institution, make threats.
I can't concentrate with you talking on your own channel because you talk on your channel.
I mean, what staff may or may not be doing. So if the
Don't get me started, y'all. If we get trolls coming in right now, I'm about to lose it. Gypsy Rose already put me in some kind of mood.
Prison is concerned about risk and managing risk at all time. It's a simple decision for a warden to make. She's had issues for the last 30 years in prison. She has yet to fully accept responsibility. She continues to play the victim. What is the upside, not for her as an inmate or prisoner? What is the upside for the warden approving this? Zilch, zero, nada. For that reason, you just deny it. There's too much risk if she were to go rogue and say something to a filmmaker that could really threaten the security of the institution. For that reason, they say, no chance. Have a nice day.
Now you talked to
just me. No, not like that. Just me. No. Hell no. I'm talking about like got me all freaking agitated.
You alluded a little bit to.
I added like 17 T's in that word.
About her
agitated.
So we previously told you guys here on Sidebar about the campaign that Smith has done or has been promoting in hopes of getting out of prison. She reportedly even reached out to her ex-husband, begging that he not oppose her bid for release. But David Smith recently told Court TV,
that dude's crazy as hell. Or she's crazy as hell thinking that her ex-husband is going to be like, you're right.
I would just tell her that you have no idea of how much damage you have done to so many people. I would tell her that in my capabilities, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you stay behind bars. Justin, how much sway does David or someone in David's position have on a decision about parole?
There's no greater significance than victims speak, nothing more. He might have responded differently and said, I'm still never going to recommend that you get released, but I am grateful you have accepted responsibility and built a record that shows you own it. It's your fault that you've been productive while in prison and educated yourself, perhaps educated other people, that corrections is actually correcting you. He might have still said no chance, but there's a chance he could have said maybe. Based on her record and what she's done, she's done nothing to demonstrate why she's a candidate for release, why he would even recommend it. So a parole board, prosecutors, they care most about victims. It's one thing to ask, don't deny it, please, please, please. It's another to actually have built a record over a sustained period of time. And guess what? 30 years, 3 decades is ample time to build a record. She hasn't done it. She's failed.
You would think.
The test, which is why I said earlier, they convicted her in 2 hours. I give it 2 minutes.
And just to give everybody a little backstory, David and Susan, they divorced after their children died. This was before Susan Smith went to trial. And David went on to write a tell-all book. It was called Beyond All Reason, My Life with Susan Smith. And to be clear, as we were talking about, this is not the first time that Smith has been in trouble while she's been locked up. You go back to 2000.
Oh, hell.
Smith,
she was locked up and they were playing 50 Shades of Grey.
Was written up for having 4 times with a 50-year-old prison guard named Houston Cagle. He pled guilty.
Houston Cagle? What the hell? Man, this is crazy. That is crazy as hell. 4 times with Houston Cagle. She got her Houston Cagle, that's for damn sure. 4 times. Can you imagine that? She's like, yo, you got the cuffs? I sure do.
Guilty, spent time behind bars himself for 3 months. Then, 2001, Captain Alfred Rowe Jr. also pled guilty and was sentenced to 5 years of probation for having sex with Smith. I mean, the fact that they decide
2 prison guards
to have sex with an inmate, I've seen that before. We've talked about that before. Susan Smith, I got to explain why we see this happen.
It happens a lot. I think a guard a week in America gets arrested. Many of them have reached out to white collar.
A guard a week? Man, you crazy as hell.
Advice, and many of them will say the prisoner or inmate manipulated me. They exploited me. I was trying to help them. The reality, when you're living so close to someone 24 hours a day, connections can happen. There can be more commonalities than you think. And then with
connections. I mean, you crazy as hell.
Very little supervision inside of that prison, it is very easy to happen, and the consequences are devastating. I'm surprised in some ways she's not segregated 23 hours a day, kind of like Diddy in lockup, sleeping with staff, trying to reach out to filmmakers, not accepting responsibility, violations. She's lucky she's not in segregation 23 hours a day, totally separated from staff and prisoners. She's kind of a menace to the institution if you look at her record.
And she's also been disciplined for use of marijuana as well as mutilation. That's when you scar or damage your body in some way. She's held multiple jobs, though, since she's been locked up. Most recently, she's what's called a ward keeper's assistant. What is that? Do you know what that is, Justin? A ward keeper's assistant?
I don't know exactly, other than someone I suppose is looking over some unit and she's assisting.
I'm in love with the ward keeper's assistant. She grinding, she rolling. Because she's a ward keeper's assistant. She climbing now on, and I'm in love with the ward keeper's assistant.
That person, what she needs more than anything is not released to the community, but rather some real mental health treatment or counseling on the inside. Because while she might never,
I'm gonna buy you some noodles from the commissary,
never get released again, her thoughts and actions could be influencing women who will actually get released. And we don't want her influencing them negatively with her bad acts and decisions and not accepting responsibility and blaming and violation. So I can assure you she is influencing some people in a negative way who are going to get released. She needs real mental health counseling in that prison.
30 years she's been in there, though. You think if something's going to help or something's going to happen, it would have happened.
You said before that you think the chances of her making parole are very unlikely. What would be the arguments for her to get parole? What would be a situation where they actually do grant her?
They're tired of firing staff for connecting with her.
Parole, despite
she's trying to start her own prison Tinder.
This record, despite
it's called Prinder.
This current disciplinary action, do you see a scenario where she could be released?
Yeah, look at someone like Halim Flowers, who served time in prison for murder. And he went through a program called Preparing for Success After Prison in the penitentiary in Atwater. And he demonstrated over decades in prison what he had learned, that he identified with victims, how he will never return to a courtroom, programming that he went through. How was it helping him in prison? And when he went back in front of a judge for a resentencing under the First Step Act that Trump passed in 2018, he had a record that he could rely on. He didn't ask. It was a formality that he had earned it because of the record. Had she wanted to truly make herself a candidate for release rather than sleeping with guards, engaging in disciplinary infractions, using drugs, she would have built a disciplined and sustained record like Halim Flowers did over decades on the inside. And there are case studies of people who have been sentenced to life in prison. Adam Clausen, sentenced to 220 years for robbing banks, released after 2 decades in prison.
Oh, hell.
It's possible, but she chose to go down a different path. Blame, excuse, deny, get into trouble, and then miraculously, 30 years later, ask people to give her a release. She has not earned it, and she knows it.
And by the way, she has tried to get a new trial before. So talking about on the legal front, she's requested a new trial. We go back to 2010. She sent a handwritten appeal request saying that her attorney didn't adequately represent her during her trial. She claimed that the trial was unfair, that there was prosecutorial misconduct. She claimed that her Miranda rights were violated. She also argued that she was suffering from battered women syndrome. The problem with that, of course, is that defense or that justification for self-defense.
Yeah, you don't take your kids out. She didn't take the husband out, y'all. She took the kids.
Is usually used in a case of a woman charged with husband or partner, not really children. But
yeah.
By the way, in a letter to the state newspaper in South Carolina in 2015, Smith wrote, "I'm not the monster society thinks I am. I am far from it.
Yeah, worse.
I was a good mother, and I loved my boys." Now, it's
that is crazy as hell to say.
Very hard to believe that. But Justin, you focus on the prison industry your whole career, and you hear these people coming forward and making these admissions and saying they've changed and saying they're being misrepresentative, trying to change the narrative. When you hear something like that, what do you think? Because on one hand, she committed an unforgivable, horrendous crime. On the other hand, do you think that after some time, particularly time she spends behind bars, we should look at her differently?
On the other hand, we could look at her differently if she's earned it. Any defendant watching this, regardless of the crime, all you really need to do to prepare for sentencing in prison is do the exact opposite of everything she has done. To write that you are a good mother when you've murdered your children is delusional. Instead, she should say, I was a horrific mother. Awful. I killed my children. And on the inside, for the last 30 years, I've been building a record that demonstrates what I've learned, why I would never return to a courtroom, why I've been compliant, getting help with my mental health issues. It is awful, sickening, terrible messaging. And it's the reason she continues to struggle. My partner served 26 years in prison for a nonviolent drug crime. And after convicted in that county jail, he read The Trial of Socrates about accepting responsibility. And here's the message or advice he would give to her. Your life will only get better when you can finally say, I alone am responsible for my troubles with the law. I murdered my children. And it's no one's fault but my own. And I might not get parole now, but perhaps I can be authentic and do the work over the next 10 or 20 years and demonstrate why I'm a candidate for leniency. Until then, it will never happen, and they're going to bury her underneath that prison.
Let's talk about that real quick and end this with this point. It's a process.
Damn.
She goes in front of the hearing. A, what does that hearing look like, that parole hearing? And B, how quickly did they decide whether or not she gets parole?
She'll have an opportunity to present her case. She may have an advocate alongside her presenting the case of why she's a candidate for release. Of course, you'll have victims there discussing why she should never be released to the community. You'll have prosecutors. The parole board will listen. I presume in their mind, they've already made the decision no, but probably at some point, 30, 45, 60 days later, they'll issue a formal ruling. But suffice to say, the decision has been made, and it's been made because of the decision she's made since she was convicted.
Yeah, she made the decision
of murdering her children. She's done nothing.
They get to just come together and say, hey, yeah, no.
To build a new record. To defendants watching, whether you want a shorter sentence, an earlier release, it only happens if you build a record that shows you're different than the government's version of events. She has proved, if anything, she is no different than their version of events.
Yeah, I got to tell you, looking at her past, looking at what just happened, I think there is a serious concern about her being on the outside. She has not helped herself any which way, and moreover, it's hard to find any sympathy for Susan Smith considering what she did. Justin Paperny, thank you so much for coming on. Really good seeing you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh my God.
You what?
That is crazy as hell. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I gotta go take like a hot bath or something and decompress after having to listen to Gypsy Rose for the first freaking half of this. YouTube, we didn't get 100,000 likes. Or sorry, yeah. We didn't even get 100 likes, YouTube. It's okay. We might be able to right now. Everybody watching on YouTube, take a second, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Hit me with some donuts real quick. We got one last goal to hit. And y'all, when this is over, click my face, go to the profile, and click the YouTube button and go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can go back and rewatch all of the live stream. YouTube, I love you guys. See you tomorrow. Good night.